Okay, for a minute, let's forget about tanks, jets, and aircraft carriers. The most important battles of the 21st century, well, they're being fought on a battlefield you can't even see. We're going to break down a really radical new proposal from the Indian Army that completely rethinks how to fight and win in this invisible domain.
This quote from Lieutenant General R.S.R. Aiyengar, it just gets right to the heart of it. What he's getting at is a terrifying vulnerability in modern warfare. See, if you lose connectivity, you're not just at a disadvantage. You are blind, deaf, and completely paralyzed. The first battle isn't for a piece of ground. It's for control of the network itself.
So, what is the core problem we're talking about here? Well, to put it simply, the very nature of conflict has changed, and a lot of military structures, the ones designed for the 20th century, are just struggling to keep up.
So what does that actually mean? Migrated from the visible to the invisible. It means the most important terrain is no longer just hills and valleys. No, it's the electromagnetic spectrum, it's cyberspace, it's the flow of information. Battles are literally being won and lost in realms we cannot see with our own eyes.
Let's get specific about these new threats. We're not talking about just hacking an email account. Imagine a cyber attack that paralyzes an entire military division. Or think about electronic warfare that blinds a brigade's sensors, basically making them sitting ducks. This is the new reality, where victory can be decided before a single shot is even fired, all based on who controls the information.
So, in response to this pretty stark new reality, Lieutenant General Aiyengar put forward something truly radical. A fundamental shift in thinking designed to tackle these invisible threats head-on. Now, to really get this proposal, you first need to know about the Corps of Signals. For more than a century, they've been the Army's communications backbone. They're the ones who keep everyone connected. You can think of them as the military's giant IT department and telecom provider, all rolled into one essential support service. And here it is, the big idea. Transform the signals from a support service into a full-fledged combat arm, just like infantry or artillery. Now, this isn't just about changing a name or a patch on a uniform. This is a massive shift in mission, from passively enabling communication to actively fighting for control of the digital world. And the argument is that this isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a doctrinal necessity. It's about giving frontline units their own offensive cyber and electronic warfare tools, which makes them way more agile and lethal. The goal here isn't about prestige for the Corps, it's about pure, pragmatic preparedness for the future of war.
Okay, so what would this new combat arm actually look like? I mean, how do you take this big idea and build it into a real, functioning part of the military machine?
This is the key question, isn't it? It's one thing to have a great idea on paper, but how do you organize it so it's effective at every single level of command, from the soldier on the front lines all the way up to strategic headquarters? All right, this chart breaks it all down. At the tactical level, the boots-on-the-ground level, you'd have a signals combat company embedded right there with the brigades, providing immediate electronic warfare and cyber defense. Then you zoom out to the operational level, and you've got a whole signals combat regiment managing the spectrum for an entire region. And at the very top, the strategic level, you have a central command, something like a joint electromagnetic operations cell running national-level campaigns. It's a complete top-to-bottom redesign. This new structure is designed for something called multi-domain operations, or MDO. The idea behind MDO is to perfectly synchronize everything you do on land, at sea, in the air, in space, and in cyberspace to just completely overwhelm your opponent. And this new signals combat arm, it would be the central nervous system making all of that complex synchronization possible. And here's how they would actually operate. Before a conflict even kicks off, they're busy hardening their own networks and listening in on enemy signals. Then, during the fight, they're doing two things at once, attacking enemy networks while fiercely protecting their own. And after it's all over, they're restoring communications and analyzing everything that happened to get ready for the next time. Their job literally never stops. But look, a new org chart is pretty much meaningless without the right tools and, more importantly, the right people. This whole plan is built on two absolutely critical pillars, getting futuristic technology into the field and completely revolutionizing how soldiers and officers are trained.
First, the technology. And this isn't science fiction. We're talking about AI that can predict and manage the radio spectrum all by itself. We're talking about quantum systems that can create truly unhackable communication channels. This is the kind of tech that will power this new force, linking every soldier, every sensor, and every drone into one seamless digital network.
But all that amazing technology is useless without trained people. That's why the second pillar is a revolution in military education. From the very beginning, cadets will learn basic coding. Mid-level officers will run through complex cyber war games. And the top generals? They'll be studying the deep ethics of this new kind of warfare. Every single level of leadership has to become fluent in technology.
You see, this demands a completely new kind of leader. The old, rigid, top-down model just won't work. It has to give way to a networked framework. The new leader needs to be a systems thinker. They need to be ethically aware, and they need to be able to collaborate not just across the military, but with civilian experts and industry partners too.
And make no mistake, this is not a short-term fix. This is the long game, a multi-decade vision to fundamentally reshape India's military for the very unique challenges of the mid-21st century.
So what's the ultimate goal? It's to create what's called an integrated multi-domain force. In simple terms, that means by 2045, every single action, on land, at sea, in the air, in space, and in cyberspace, is part of a single, seamless, intelligent plan.
And this isn't just a dream, there's a detailed phased roadmap. You can see the plan here is to start by building the digital backbone and reforming military education. From there, they'll integrate AI command centers, then accelerate with quantum networks, and finally, achieve that fully mature integrated force by 2045. It's a very deliberate, step-by-step transformation.
This timeline really drives home that long-term vision. Complete the digital foundation by 2030, activate AI command centers by 2035, deploy quantum networks by 2040. Each of these milestones is a massive technological and organizational leap, all building towards that final goal. And that leaves us with a final and absolutely crucial question. This whole transformation is about building capability, but it also opens up some profound ethical challenges. As warfare gets more automated and more invisible, how do we ensure human accountability? How do we uphold the laws of war when the weapons themselves are algorithms and lines of code? That is the invisible challenge that lies just behind this invisible battlefield.